role model, actor and comedian Howie Mandel is a charismatic and hilarious comedian. From his role as Gizmo in Gremlins to his current role as a judge on America's Got Talent, he has been a household name in the entertainment industry. But on a journey to Sin City, Howie's world was turned upside down when, in a shocking twist of fate, he discovered his wife lying in a blood pool. Since most people were still in the dark about the circumstances of the upsetting situation, this unexpected and shocking occurrence surprised followers. Now let's delve into Howie Mandel's life and his most difficult obstacle to date. On November 29, 1955, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Howard Michael Mandel came into this world. His father was a real estate magnate and lighting manufacturer, and he spent his childhood in Toronto's Bathurst Manor district. His Jewish ancestry traces back to Romania and Poland, although Howie's family is actually related to Israeli violinist Itzhak Perlman. Howie was always the class clown when he was a kid. He took great pleasure in fooling those closest to him. He attended William Lyon Mackenzie Collegiate Institute until his expulsion for posing as an employee of the school and coordinating the addition of a new section with a construction business. Howie went on to sell rugs. At Toronto's Yuck Yucks, he got his start in stand-up comedy. Howie was advertised as quite wild and chaotic, bordering on insane, for a week-long stint in September 1978. When Howie visited Los Angeles, he performed at the Comedy Store, where he eventually became a regular. In 1979 and 1980, he made many appearances after a producer from the comedic game show Make Me Laugh noticed him. In the summer of 1979, he was also David Letterman's opener. His performance in October of that year caught the eye of CBC TV's head of variety programming, who promptly signed him for a TV special. Gas, a 1980 Canadian film co-starring Susan Ansbach and Donald Sutherland, was his big break. Along with his other interests, Howie became one of the first video jockeys VJs on Pop Clips, a music video show on Nickelodeon. From 1982 to 1984, Howie spent 6 years in St. Elsewhere, during which time he became popular in the United States. Alongside Ed Flanders and Norman Lloyd, he performed the role of Dr. Wayne Fiscus. Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour, which aired on NBC in March 1984, also featured him on several episodes. Howie voiced Gizmo in the 1984 smash blockbuster Gremlins and its sequel in 1990, among his other film roles, including those of Dr. Fiscus and comedian. On November 1985's Late Night with David Letterman, he was seen in a brief role in Michael J. Fox's short film, The Iceman Hummeth. His 1986 film debut was alongside Ted Danson in A Fine Mess. His 1987 music video for the song Watusi was inspired by his comedy show The Watusi Tour, which he performed in multiple cities. He provided the voices for several Muppet Babies characters in the first 2 seasons, including Bunsen Honeydew, Animal and Skeeter. Walk Like a Man, a 1987 comedy starring Amy Steele, was his acting debut. In the 1989 film Little Monsters, he portrayed the character Maurice. He had a brief appearance on the Fox sitcom Good Grief in 1990. From 1990 until 1998, he was involved in the creation and production of the children's show Bobby's World, where he provided voices for both the protagonist and his father. Originally airing for 7 seasons on Fox, Bobby's World then went on to reruns. He had his own comedy program, Howie, in 1992 with Gilbert Gottfried and a band featuring guitarist Leda Ford. He co-starred with Bobby in the show. Toonland, a video game released in 1994, featured his voice as the protagonist, Little Howie. In 1995, he appeared on Showtime's Howie Mandel's Sunny Skies, a sketch comedy series. The 1995 Clint Black single Summers Comin' featured his appearance in the music video. In the brief television series The Amazing Live Sea Monkeys, Howie portrayed the role of the professor. In an episode of Lois and Clark from 1996 called The New Adventures of Superman, he made an appearance as the villain Mr. Maxis Tolk. The Howie Mandel Show, a chat show he presented in 1998, was canceled after only 1 season. From 1999 to 2000, he was an actor in films like Apocalypse, The Three and Tribulation. In 2000, he provided the voice for a character in The Tangerine Bear. In 2002, he portrayed the Sandman in Hansel and Gretel. Howie has become recognized for his frequent appearances as a comedian and for his hilarious hidden camera segments on Jay Leno's The Tonight Show. Countless television commercials with him raving about Boston Pizza's cuisine have aired. According to Comedy Central's list of the top 100 stand-up comedians of all time, he was placed at number 82 in April 2004. He became the host of Deal or No Deal America in October 2005. Launched on NBC on December 19, 2005, the show quickly gained a devoted fan base by the beginning of 2006. He has guest appearances on Medium NBC and Deal or No Deal in 2007 as himself in a dream sequence. In that episode, he acted as though he were going to fire the show's protagonist for cheating on the cases, even though the protagonist is a psychic medium. Phil Skoriank is a popular character that Howie portrays in most of his comedic acts. In February 2007, his character Bobby made a brief appearance on Deal or No Deal as well. On occasion, you can catch him in an episode of What's Shakin' with Howie. As of the 8th of September 2008, he took over hosting duties for a 5-day-a-week daytime edition of Deal or No Deal with a grand prize of $500,000. Then, his reality show How We Do It premiered on NBC for the first time on January 9, 2009. Reports surfaced the following year speculating that Howie will succeed David Hasselhoff as a judge on AI. Leaving to concentrate on a new TV show was Hasselhoff's decision. Among the judges and hosts, Howie has the longest tenure, performing the role for a continuous 15 seasons, beginning with Season 5 and continuing up until the present day. Howie launched his surprise dancing show Mobbed on Fox on March 31, 2011. Originally intended as a test program, Fox opted to air 8 or 10 additional episodes after American Idol due to the show's high viewership. After that, he presided over the 2012 NASCAR Sprint Cup Awards ceremony on November 30th. Take It All, his 6-night special game show, premiered on December 10, 2012. In one episode of the 2013 cartoon Fugget About It, he voiced FBI agent Rick Chick Magnet. During 2013 and 2014, Howie oversaw production of Deal With It, a hidden camera program on TBS. He was a frequent guest and co-host with Theo Vaughn, the show's main host. According to reports made public on March 12, 2018, Howie would not only host but also oversee the 2018 CNBC game show. December 3, 2018 was the premiere date of the show. Along with 2 other hosts, Howie has presented the same game show in 2 different nations. Along with Ann Robinson, who hosted The Weakest Link in both the US and the UK, and Donny Osmond, who presented Pyramid in both countries, there are 2 more. Howie and his daughter Jacqueline Schulz launched their podcast Howie Does Stuff in February 2021. Among the many topics covered in this podcast are prank calls, pop culture, interviews with interesting people, offbeat commentary, audience participation, and in-depth discussions. The first season of Howie's game show, Bullsh**T, premiered on Netflix on April 27, 2022. Following the cancellation of Deal or No Deal in 2019, Howie made his game show debut with this program. As they answer trivia questions, players have a chance to win $1 million. However, there is a catch. Additionally, they must persuade a panel of adversaries that their response is correct, regardless of its veracity. The next step is for the judges to determine whether they buy into the candidate's story. Assuming they win over the judges, the contestant advances to the next round. In that case, they are eliminated. The judge who got the most correct guess in the last round will be the one to play next. In essence, they must resort to deceit in order to achieve victory. A good job isn't the only thing Howie has accomplished. He has also faced several obstacles. They are things about which he has been forthright. I will focus on his health issues, which have encompassed both physical and emotional struggles. Howie battles depression on a mental level. Condition X, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and Condition Y, obsessive-compulsive disorder. He has been opening up about his struggles with obsessive-compulsive disorder (OCD), a disorder characterized by repetitive thoughts that he attempts to temporarily suppress through various acts. His fear of contamination began during a formative experience he had as a child on a family vacation to Florida, he says. He was infested with eggs produced by a sand fly while on vacation, leading to the movement of larvae just beneath his skin. The procedure was invasive and painful. His mother removed the remaining larvae at home, and a dermatologist used liquid nitrogen to kill some of them. Even though he was only 7 or 8 years old, this event had a profound impact on Howie. Though being so forthright about his OCD has been difficult for him, he says that thinking about the incident frequently makes him feel like bugs are trying to get under his skin. Many embarrassing moments involving other celebrities and their fans have resulted from it. Take the time when Rob Schneider snatched his hand and made fun of his fear as an example. After scolding Schneider live on air, Kelly Ripa ran out to fetch hand sanitizer for Howie. Howie had to explain his bald head on the Howard Stern show on March 24, 2006, that it's not because of natural hair loss but rather his obsessive-compulsive disorder. Having no hair on his body helps him feel more clean, he said. Howie preferred a fist bump to a handshake in September 2007 during an NFL Network interview with Marshall Faulk. Still, Faulk's unexpected handshake caught him off guard, forcing Howie to lose his composure and shout before repeatedly walking away to wash his hands. On America's Got Talent, contestants would occasionally do things that would hurt Howie's feelings mid-performance, prompting him to either get up from his seat or abandon the stage altogether until the concert concluded. Even something as insignificant as a stray dental floss would cause Howie immense terror. Even enthusiastic contestants on Deal or No Deal can't get him to shake hands without his trusty rubber gloves, thanks to his obsessive-compulsive disorder. He frequently opts to bump fists, place his hands on their shoulders, or occasionally offer an embrace rather than shake hands. Not only does Howie avoid using public restrooms, he will only use his own personal restroom, he revealed. When a member of his family is sick, he can retreat to the little house he built in his backyard. Instead of being down about his illness, he laughs about it, joking that his therapist would be pleased to have additional sessions with him on weeks when he's having a bad episode. More seriously, he is currently taking medicine to control his symptoms. He also published a book in 2009 titled Here's the Deal, Don't Touch Me, which detailed his struggles. He discussed his continuous battle with mental health in the book, injecting it with his distinctive humor. He is a staunch advocate for eliminating discrimination against people who suffer from mental illness. He made the point that the lack of understanding about mental health concerns in American society is a major contributor to the taboo around these topics. We truly need a system that teaches people to handle difficult situations. I think we can all agree that taking care of our mental health is the first step towards making the world a better place. In addition to his ongoing struggles with mental illness, the comedian has also dealt with a number of physical health difficulties. Taking Howie to the hospital after he passed out at Starbucks in October 2021 was a major story. "I'm feeling a lot better now that I'm back home. I was extremely dehydrated and my blood sugar was dangerously low," he tweeted at the time. "I am grateful to the amazing medical staff that took such good care of me." He went on to say, "I'm all right," and thanked everyone who had checked in. In 2022, he was also quarantined due to contracting COVID-19. He stressed the need for open dialogue about mental health, particularly in these times, and said that being alone for so long drove him crazy. His experience with colorblindness was similar. While selling carpets in Toronto, he made the humorous comment that he was responsible for many ugly houses since he had poor color vision. His firm thrived despite his colorblindness. Regardless of these health issues, Howie's wife Terry remains a constant in his life. After exchanging wedding vows on March 16, 1980, he and his wife have been together for over 40 years. Their paths did indeed cross in their youth. Terry, his wife, is a native Torontonian like Howie. They were both students at William Lyon Mackenzie Collegiate Institute, where they finished high school. The account of Howie and his wife's first meeting was told by Howie. He said they had crossed paths while queuing for French fries. He remembered that Terry, who was only 14 years old, loaned him the money since he didn't have enough for the fries. Howie said that ever since then he has been making amends to her. Terry and Howie, who met at the snack bar, started dating while they were both in their early teens. But Terry rejected his first romantic advances. He claims that up to the first time we went out, when I was around 19 years old, she refused to date me. She declined my invitation to go out. Due to inclement weather, their first date at the movies nearly turned out badly. My mom's Cutlass Supreme was our mode of transportation to the theater, as Howie elucidated. After skidding on the ice, the vehicle balanced on its side for a while before getting back on all fours. Terry thankfully shares his admirers' appreciation for his humor. According to the comedian, he proposed to his soon-to-be wife by saying, "I was at a deli and I bought a loose diamond. I set it down on the table and politely declined, saying, 'I need to go to the loo, but if you want to put it into a ring, go ahead.'" The couple has been there for one another through many milestones. Just like the arrival of their 3 children, a male called Alex in 1989 and 2 daughters, Jackie in 1984 and Riley in 1992, into our world. They collaborated on a number of artistic endeavors as well. Terrence worked as a television producer and agent. On multiple occasions, she and her spouse have worked together. The 2018 revival of Deal or No Deal, in which Howie served as presenter, brought him fame. However, Terry was the one who initially persuaded him to take the job. Her impact on his life's path was immeasurable. You can only guess how he felt when their Las Vegas night nearly turned out tragically. Howie discussed the upsetting event during his appearance on Live with Kelly and Mark. "It was a huge bash. It became somewhat excessive. After a while she had a drink. That was news to me. And then in the wee hours of the morning she rose and, to this day I still have no idea why she strode straight into the wall. Paneling on the wall took the brunt of her fall. Falling, she slammed into that. Her cheek was broken as she tripped and fell, hitting her eye on the object before crashing to the floor." While Howie appeared on Live with Kelly and Mark, they displayed a photo of his wife, who had a 2-inch cut on her forehead and a large purple bruise beneath her eye. His wife had eaten marijuana gummies, which Howie revealed to TMZ afterwards. There was blood everywhere, and he became terribly afraid at that point. Furthermore, he was failing in his attempts to avert a worsening of the crisis. "There was her skull visible when I looked at her head," he recounted. "A door was ajar. My heart raced with fear. She was hoisted into the bed by me. Blood was all over the place. Every single towel was mine, yet they were stained with blood. She kept pleading for someone to bring her ice. Instead of medical assistance," Howie said, the hotel staff brought multiple security guards to their room after he called. He made light of the fact that it appeared terrible, particularly because they had been watching Snap just before his wife's injury. Terry visited a medical facility and made a full recovery. Howie subsequently expressed relief, saying, "She's totally fine, no scars. Yeah, Terry has been well ever since. She looks beautiful," he said, displaying a photo of the two of them at a state where her wounds were no longer evident. In fact, she began her career in 2022 with People, Cosmopolitan, Insider, and Flat Therapy are among the publications that have featured her writing. Serious harm can come from being under the influence of any drug, and this episode is a stark reminder of that. Deal or No Deal Island. Howie's latest reality game spin-off is called Deal or No Deal. Former program presenter and current game show producer Howie claims the new version is more exciting, daring, and massive than anything before it, including the original. Manganiello was announced as the host of the new NBC show Deal or No Deal Island in September 2023. A trailer depicting Howie handing the baton to Manganiello was published. When questioned about his successor's performance as Deal or No Deal host, Howie gave an exclusive interview in which he explained why he thought the actor was ideal for the role. He said, "He's fantastic," while walking the red carpet in March for America's Got Talent Season 19. "He loves a good thrill. I am ecstatic to be a part of that show because he loves playing games and I think he's fantastic in the role." Howie has overcome many obstacles throughout his life, which has been filled with fun and a dazzling profession. The public was startled and life was exposed at the horrific moment he found his wife Terry in a pool of blood. Despite the profound unease it causes, this event is just one more chapter in the extraordinary life of a man who has triumphed against adversity and touched the lives of millions. The narrative of Howie exemplifies the strength of the human spirit, the effectiveness of honesty, and the significance of perseverance when confronted with hardship.